Hello everyone and doctor. My name is Gao Yifan. I'm pleased to present my research proposal. The content of my research is about the impact of extended school hour on learning outcomes, psychological well-being, and mental health in children in Kunming, Yunnan province, China. This study focuses on the current education trend of increasing school time and its consequence for students in China, particularly in Kunming, Yunnan province. In the context of China's pursuit of academic excellence and global competitiveness, it's increasingly important to consider not just how long students study, but how such policy affect their development holistically. Okay, the content for Chapter 1 it includes 10 aspects, and let me start from research background. Extended school hour has always been a hot topic among educational policymakers. Many people believe that increasing study time can directly improve students' academic performance, right? And thus enhance the overall education level of the country. However, the reality is not that simple. Studies have shown that excessive study time may lead to decreased students' attention, increasing anxiety levels, and even interfere with sleep quality. More importantly, there are significant differences in the adaptability of students from different socio-economic backgrounds to prolong the school hours. For example, students from high-income families maybe have more resources for extracurricular tutoring, where students from low-income families may face greater pressure due to lack of support. These contradictory views show that the effect of prolonging the school hour still needs to be discussed in depth. This problem raises three main problems. First, the actual effectiveness of extending school hour in improving academic performance is still indefinitely. Although more time may mean more knowledge accumulation, it doesn't necessarily translate into better performance. Second, longer school hours will aggravate psychological stress and affect students' mental health and emotional stability. Symptoms such as anxiety, burnout, and sleep disorders are often reported. Second, social adaptability can be compromised, especially for students from lower socioeconomic backgrounds who don't have access to support systems outside of school. Extended time in an academic setting reduces the time available for interpersonal development and engage social or family, etc. Okay. Next, about research objective. The primary aim of this study is to investigate the impact of extended school hour on learning outcome, psychological well-being, and mental health in children. Specifically, the study seeks these three aspects. First, to evaluate the impact of long and intensive school routine on students' academic performance, mental well-being, and social adaptability. Second, to examine the effects of extended school hour on students' mental well-being, including stress levels, emotional states, and psychological resilience. Third, to analyze how long school days influence students' social adaptability, including peer interaction, class behavior, and other social development. Okay. According our research objective, then let me talk about research question. First, to what extent do prolonged and intensive school routine influence students' academic performance, psychological well-being, and social adaptability? Second, how does the extension of school hour affect students' level of stress, emotional regulation, and psychology resilience? Third, in what way does extended instructional time impact students' social adaptability, particularly in terms of peer relationships, classroom engagement, and overall social development? Okay. Now, let me see hypothesis. First, there is a non-linear relationship between study time and the students' academic performance. Second, long-term school arrangements are positively correlated with students' anxiety and depression level. Okay, this study has many academic implications. Wait a minute, I put here. Yeah. Theoretically, this study depends on our understanding of how time allocation affects overall learning outcomes and participates in the existing debates on education effectiveness. Practically, it improves evidence for school and the teacher to help them design timetables that are not only academically effective, but also sustainable on psychology and social levels. It also provides policymakers with solid insight on how to balance teaching time with student well-being, especially in the context of China's broader double reduction policy framework. This study focused on students in the first and second grades of a public high school in Kunming. Although this study conducted in-depth analysis of this context, it didn't attempt to generalize the findings to all regions or grades in China. This study was based on self-reported data, which may be affected by students' subjective perception or memory base. Okay. Let's see context for chapter 2. Yeah. Regarding the extension of study time, the research results of the literature are not clear. Some people believe that extending the study time can improve students' academic level because it allows for review, deeper learning, and increased contact time with teacher. Other emphasize that after a certain threshold, the learning effect will gradually decrease. Students will experience cognitive overload, physical fatigue, and decreased motivation to learn. The learning pressure of Chinese children has always been a matter of concern. The country has been trying to make many measures to reduce the academic pressure of students, for example, double reductions. However, due to severe domestic competition, this problem has not been well solved. High school is the time when children are most stressed, study the longest, and lack rest the most. Most high schools have self-open evening self-study and weekend self-study classes. High school children have almost no rest time except for sleep time. Yeah, it's so terrible. This must be harmful to students' physical health, mental health. At the same time, due to excessive concentration on learning, children at this stage also lack social skills and lack time to interact with parents. From any perspective, this is unfavorable, right? Now we can see conceptual framework. The framework proposed in this study places extended school time at the center here. Impact three outcomes variables: academic performance, mental health, and social adaptability. These relationships are influenced by socio-economic status, which may amplify or buffer the effect depending on students' access to support, results, and resilience. Okay. Now, let me look at the theoretical framework. This study is based on two theories. First, Piaget's theory of cognitive development. It's believed that learners benefit most from active, hands-on learning experiences. Passive listening to lecture for a long time will hinder cognitive development and reduce children's enthusiasm for learning. Second, boundaries social learning theories. It emphasizes that students learn by observing peers, imitating behaviors, and participate in interaction. A purely academic focus may limit this opportunity. Okay, let us see content for chapter 3. Okay, we adapt a quantitative research designing using structured questionnaires. This approach allows for large-scale data collection and statistical analysis, providing generable and objective results. The design ensures consistent measurement of variability across participants. The study was conducted at a public senior high school in Kunming, Yunnan province. Participants include 500 students from grade 10 to 11, selected through stratified random sample to ensure representation across gender, academic level, and the socioeconomic status backgrounds. The main tool used was extended school time in, the instrument. Yeah, the main tool used was the extended school time impact questionnaire, divided into 3 parts. First, academic performance. Second is mental well-being. Third, social adaptability. Okay. Yeah. Academic performance measure concentration, homework completion, test readiness, and participation. Mental well-being assess anxiety, sleep quality, emotional stress, and motivation. Third, social adaptability. Examine relationship with peers, family communication, and the involvement in non-academic activities. Each item uses a 5-point Likert scale, enabling a nuanced capture of students' perspective. Okay. Questionnaire was administered online with the support of class teacher, ensuring high response rates and ethical compliance. Data was analyzed using SPS. Okay. In addition, we conducted a pilot study, the result of which showed that the questionnaire had a good, reliable, and validity, ensuring the reliability of the data. Sorry. Okay, in conclusion, this study aimed to provide a comprehensive, evidence-based understanding of how extended school hours influence not only students' academic success, but also their mental health and social lives. By exploring this issue from multiple angles, we hope to inform future reforms that prevent balanced, human, and effective learning environments. Okay, thank you for your attention. Bye-bye.